Don't think that I am not reading these comments before the show starts, Snake Farm, and you know who you are and you know what you said. Snake Farm says, Don needs a new timepiece. I see others saying, come on, Don. We're trying. It's just that before we want to give you the freshest, newest content because we are live. This show is live. So it's happening in real time. It's not taped. It's not edited. It's not put together. Don is late. Wanda 53 says, I see you guys because we're trying to put it all together. We're trying to give you the best show. Okay. Also, I see you in the chat and I want to respond, but I am doing my thing with the producers and we're talking. We're going to try to come up with a show producer prep cam maybe, but we don't want to be able to give things away. Hey, wait a minute. Wait one damn minute. He's on CP time, Keisha Ward says. Keisha Ward says I'm on CP time. I am. What are you drinking? It's lemonade. Okay. It's homemade lemonade. Sparkling water, lemon juice, and a little Splenda. Don't get upset. I usually do honey, but I didn't have any. I'm out of honey because I've been using it for having the flu. Okay. So hello, everybody. Welcome to Lemon Live at 5, the Don Lemon Show. I'm so glad that you could be here. And where's the merch, Don? I know, Kimberly Lewis. I talked last night with the guys who are doing it, and there was a hiccup with the person who's going to do the merch. Somehow we don't know where they are. Luckily, we have not given them any money or made any commitments with them. And so we are working on that. But I'm so glad that you're here. Look, I got to talk to you about, this is a different show, okay, that I'm going to do today. And I'm going to introduce someone to you guys. Some of you know, let me know in the chat. Do you know who Andrew Tate is and Tristan Tate? Because I did not know who they were until I went on a conservative podcast and they brought him up and someone said, hey, what do you think of Tate? And I'm like, what Tate? What are you talking about? Who's Tate? And we're like a one name, first name basis. I didn't know. And so then it's so weird. And then all of a sudden I get home, he pops up on the algorithm on the YouTube, and then he's on Piers Morgan. And I'm like, oh my God. So I start watching these things. And then, I work with some folks who did a doc here. Producer Nikki did a doc when she was at Vice. And so, yeah. So let me know what you think and if you know of them. And I'm going to introduce you to them. And I'm going to tell you why it's important. Because remember when Mexico sends their people, they aren't sending their best. And I'm paraphrasing here. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crimes. They're pists. And then all of a sudden, it appears now that he is protecting and coddling and trying to free people who are accused of the very same thing. Accused of the very same thing. So what was that line that he launched his political career with in 2016? Do you remember when Mexico sends its people? They're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're ists. And some, I assume, are good people. That's how he launched his presidential bid, with a conspiracy that Democrats were allowing sex criminals into America. And then over the course of the next few years, he flirted with the QAnon movement. Remember? Anywhere he could get votes, he didn't care if it was truthful or not, if it was racist or not, if it was a part of the Klan, he did not care. It was part of the Yahtzees, he did not care. Didn't care. Wherever. And then when people would ask him about it, remember he was asked about David Duke in an interview, and he goes, "What, David Duke? I don't know anything. I don't even know the man. Who? I don't know." It's the same shit that he did with Project 2025. Project what? I don't know. I don't know this. Who is this Project 2025? I have nothing to do with it. Lies on top, lies, and more lies. Lies on top of lies. And I'm going to show you that he did the very same thing again today. So same thing. He flirted with the QAnon movement. Then remember Pizzagate? Do you remember that? That was a conspiracy theory that Democrats and so-called globalists, you know, that globalist line, you know what that means, right? There's a lot of, you know, anti-Semitism in that and just anti-everything. So it's a very misogynist, not misogynist, myopic inside. It could be misogynist too, who knows? America movement. All the folks who are outside, you know, they usually refer to Jewish people as globalists. There's code for everything. That they were running a secret child sex trafficking organization. It was one of their chief motivating factors for the MAGA base. Well, today, everybody, surprise, surprise. Some might say that Trump sided with alleged sex criminals and brought them into the country, into America. And to say that is hypocritical as it relates to Donald Trump and MAGA would just be, I mean, why would I even point that out? Because that's really basically all that it is. One big grift, one big lie, one big hypocrisy. So let's put up this headline. It shows, this is full screen of the headline, Andrew Tate leaves Romania after travel ban lifted. Andrew Tate and brother leave Romania for U.S. after the travel ban lifted. How did that happen? They were in Romania. They were being held there. They were trying to seek extradition. They were trying to get back. At least they were trying to get back. They wanted to leave Romania, but they were being held there. Here's Sky News reporting on Tate being freed. Wait, hold on. Before we do that, let me just show you who this guy is. Nikki, I think Nikki was involved with this documentary, if memory serves me correctly. Just to introduce you to who Andrew Tate is a little bit, and Tristan Tate, and then I'm going to tell you how this is playing out, why you should be concerned, why this is of interest to you, and it is. It's very important. Here it is.
Do you ever wonder why some people who you've never heard of before all of a sudden appear everywhere? Andrew Tate! Andrew Tate is an Anglo-American kickboxer turned influencer whose extreme misogynist videos have helped make him the most viral man in the world.
Bang out the machete, boom in her face, then grip her up by the neck. Like, shut up, bitch!
On December 29th, he and his brother were arrested by Romanian police as part of a rape and human trafficking investigation.
The Matrix has attacked me.
A few months before their arrest, I was in Romania trying to get access to their so-called secret society, the War Room.
The War Room is the most powerful network on the face of the planet today.
Andrew Tate.
To get inside, I had agreed to endure a professional cage fight in Romania.
I know he's gonna lose, but wow, he's actually in there.
Along with 100 Tate superfans.
We shouldn't be slaves, we shouldn't be working 9-to-5 jobs.
I need to grow, I need to get better, I need to evolve.
I'm not tough on myself. Nobody else will be. That's what I learned from Andrew Tate.
This chain, hold on to it.
What I found out
My plan was to sow anarchy.
is that this recent arrest appears to be just the tip of the iceberg.
This is definitely a hit piece.
I don't care.
The real story
We clearly conquered the internet.
began years ago.
There's not a single female complaining on the
Do you think
planet.
there's not a single
No.
female complaining?
Have you seen one? Tell me.
My ex-boyfriend was radicalized by Andrew Tate. He was sweet and I guess vulnerable to being brainwashed by Andrew Tate and his cult.
People don't know what he's done.
So that is who Andrew Tate is. And he has a huge influence over young men. Now, do you remember during the election when I reported to you about all of these young men, young college-age men, maybe a little bit older, who had this affinity for the Andrew Tates of the world? I didn't mention Andrew Tates, but the Joe Rogans of the world, that they were going on these conservative podcasts. Well, that is the kind of folks that are out there. That's the person that we are asking, is Donald Trump protecting this person or these kinds of people? Okay. Now I'm going to show you a little bit more about who Andrew Tate is. He's back in the country. He landed in Florida. Ron DeSantis, of all people, not happy about it. And this is a report on him being freed. Sky News.
Reports coming from Romania. The Tate brothers, Andrew and Tristan, have left Romania. It comes after the Donald Trump administration leaned on Romania to relax restrictions on Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan. It was claimed that Mr. Trump's special envoy, who admits supporting the Tate brothers, personally intervened after American officials requested their passport be returned. The pair had been released from house arrest, but had not been allowed to leave the country until, according to reports today. We'll get more from Siobhan Robbins in a few moments' time.
Okay, so you heard what he said. According to Sky News, which is a Rupert Murdoch-owned entity, that Donald Trump leaned on the Romanian government to have Andrew and Tristan Tate to allow them to be freed, to ease the restrictions on them. Now you heard Sky News, Rupert Murdoch, and then now Donald Trump asked about it in the Oval Office today. Listen to very closely to what he says.
President Trump, Andrew and Tristan Tate landed in Florida today on a private jet after being released from custody in Romania. They are accused rapists, human traffickers, not thought of as good people in many circles. Did your administration pressure the Romanian government to release them, and if so, why?
I know nothing about that. I don't know. You're saying he's on a plane right now?
He's back. They already did.
Yeah, I just know nothing about it. We'll check it out. We'll let you know.
I do. Look, obviously this involves, there's an English element here, so obviously it's important that justice is done, and human trafficking is obviously, to my mind, a security risk, and so we'll catch up with the story in due course.
You're aware? Are you aware? I didn't know anything about it. Yeah.
I didn't know anything about it. That is, I know nothing. I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. But the Tates are supportive of Donald Trump. They have mentioned him. But Donald Trump doesn't know. And you know how they're always talking about, these sexual predators and these whatever, and guess what they're doing? This is Trump's. Now, he doesn't know anything about it. But do you remember Alina Habba? I'd love to bring the evidence. Remember, every day I tell you, every broadcast I tell you, or every stream, bring the evidence. Alina Habba was Donald Trump's attorney. Now I believe she's an advisor in the White House. And apparently she has a few words to say about Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate. Watch.
Hey.
Hello, Alina.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I'm a big fan.
Well, nice to meet you. I'm a fan. You're the one saving Trump. You're doing more important work than me.
America, not just Trump. And I agree with everything you just said. And I think that your anger is the same that President Trump has for our country. And the time is now for us to stop being wimps. I think that's exactly the right sentiment. And I also have to say that I sympathize with you, because I think you go through a lot of the same show me the person, I'll find the crime that President Trump has gone through. And
she compared him to Donald Trump. I mean, y'all don't hear me today. Y'all don't hear me today. She compared him to Donald Trump, a victim. He is apparently a victim. Okay? OMG, right. Marlene, I'm building up. This is a slow build up. I love that I was telling someone earlier, this was last night. I did an interview with Justin, what's his name? This is a big streamer, big whatever. And I did an interview with him, Justin LeBoy. And he said, what's the difference between doing this and doing what you did on CNN? And I said, well, I get to just take my time and talk. And sometimes I watch and I listen, and it sounds like a radio show when I'm listening. And it's just me talking, right? Which I really love. And before, as I adjust my camera here, before it was like, I had all these questions. Well, Senator, what do you tell me about this? Because I had 3 to 5 minutes or whatever it was. And Senator, no, can you answer my question? Can you please answer my question? Okay, I got to get to the break. We'll be right back. And now I can just take my time and then just show you how these fools just bend themselves into pretzels and they lie about shit all the time. We are about truth here. This is what I tell you. You don't have to put people on that bring false equivalents, that are liars, that are insurrectionists, that are misogynists, that are grifters. So Alina Habba is on a program and they are doing what? Normalizing Andrew Tate. And you'd better believe me, if any mainstream media person could get Andrew Tate to come on, they would get him to come on and they would pretend that it is normal and they would treat it as if you're doing a normal interview. I'm just saying. And I'll just show you someone who did that, but also held him to account a little bit. I'm actually pleasantly surprised by the person who did it. But before I do that, you heard Alina Habba saying, I agree with everything you just said. I agree with everything you say. I agree. You are like Trump. You guys are kind of like, does it fit the crime, fit the whatever she said? Comparing it to Donald Trump, who says, Andrew Tate, what? Never heard the name Tate. What is that? Is that a real name? Andrew? Nobody's named Andrew. This is some of the things that Andrew Tate has said. We put together, or maybe it was already put together, just sound bites, little snippets of things that he has said over the years, and much of it we had to bleep. Here's what the kind of things that Alina Habba agrees with. Here it is.
Teach you in self-defense. Here's a little move. When I grab you by your neck and you start annoying me, trying to resist, and I just, and then I grab you by your neck again. Then what the f are you gonna do when your face is collapsed and your fucking cheekbone's broken? You ain't gonna do shit but cry.
I guarantee I changed the way you look at sex forever. You're gonna be fucking crying. I won't cry. I bet you cry. I bet you cry. You're saying I wouldn't cry. You're challenging me to a fight. You're saying I can't hurt you. You're out of your mind? I don't even have to you. Forget the sex part. That's a distraction. My can stay in my pants. I'll just start beating the shit out of you. How about that? We walk in the bedroom. I start kicking your ass. No sex. No sex involved. But you cry then.
I perfected this in pimp school. When I got my PhD, we had to practice if a girl comes at you, you cheated, you cheating. It's bang out the machete, boom in her face, and then grip her up by the neck. Like, shut up, panties get wet. The machete's on the floor, her panties are all wet, and you go, her. That's how it goes. Slap, slap, grab, choke, shut up, sex. These are the basic moves of pimp.
You're muted, Don.
Thank you. I probably should be muted. I probably should be muted on TikTok because I am really freaking with their AI and algorithm. They're like, oh, wait, what are you talking about? They think, just so we're not promoting or condoning any of this, TikTok, we're simply doing the news. Okay? There's someone who's been accused of being a predator who is now back in the country. And so we have to say predator in order to be able to tell the story. God, this is so weird sometimes. Even on the YouTube, it's weird. You can't say certain things without either getting demonetized or a strike or whatever. It's crazy. This is the actual news that one must tell. We got knocked off of TikTok, by the way. That's why I was doing that, because of that. Now I'm back on. I did have to appeal it within minutes. Okay, so that is what he said there. Now, there's some other things. So I'm going to tell you, when I became aware of who he was from this interview. When I was asked about it on a conservative podcast, and they're like, hey, man, what do you think of Tate? Is he being wrongfully or whatever or persecuted? And I'm like, who is Tate? And they're like, come on, bro, what? You don't know who Tate is? I'm like, no, I have no idea who Tate is. It's just not in my world, right? So maybe I'm just out of it, but I had no idea who Tate was, okay? And so then on the algorithm, maybe the devices are listening to you. And on the Piers Morgan, right from the very beginning of the interview, Piers Morgan asked him about whether he thought that he was of the charges against him. And this is part of the interview. It's a little bit long. I want you to get to know him, and then I'm going to explain to you more of what's going on. Here's part of the interview with Piers Morgan.
When you found out what they were alleging you'd done, sexual assault, exploitation, and so on, what did you feel about that? What was your first reaction?
My first reaction was, the standard playbook. The standard playbook for anybody who speaks up against power is sexual exploitation. Isn't it the normal one they go to? Can't we name like 10 or 15 people right now they hit them with this exact same garbage? Name a full-grown man who's 36 or 37 years old who's not had sexual relations with a woman at some point in the past. And the way the Matrix works is they lie by omission, right? They just hit Russell Brand with it. I think they hit P. Diddy with it this morning. Julian Assange just got hit with it. He's still in his cell.
But lots of people get hit with these allegations and it turns out to be true.
A lot of people get hit with them and they turn out to be false.
Yeah, but you're sort of trying to make out all the people you just named are innocent. You don't know that.
Of course I don't know that, but a lot of people get hit and it turns out to be false.
Why would you assume they're innocent?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because the way the Matrix operates is it chooses something which is heinous. If they accused me of drug dealing, nobody would care. They choose something which is heinous, so the process itself is a punishment. So they damage your reputation throughout the process, regardless of whether it's successful or not. Then what they do is they lie by omission. They throw you in a cell and they contact everyone you've ever interacted with. 2,000 people I know were called, and they were looking for one person to say they're a victim. By the way, they failed. They did not even find one. But if they did, they would then say, Andrew Tate's victim, he's a sexual assaulter. And they would remove the testimony of the 1,999 people who said, I'm a very nice man. Lie by omission. And then they put together this entire package, use the mainstream media to convince the world that you deserve to be in jail. And that is how the Matrix operates.
I mean, to be clear, I don't know if you're guilty or not.
I do.
You're perfectly entitled to say that. And you know, right?
Of course I know.
But I don't know. And I will await any trial that comes to see what comes out in the trial and see what happens, right? So I'm not going to prejudge the trial. I'm not going to judge you and say, I think you're guilty. I don't know, right? We are where we are. You've been charged with serious crimes and it's likely you'll face a trial and we'll see how that all plays out, obviously.
Okay. So Piers, we don't know. And I do appreciate Piers pushing back on him. Should he have even been on? Should people like that even be given a platform? I don't know, maybe, perhaps, if you're going to push back on them. But do you see what I mean about normalizing and then he spews all this stuff? So he's spewing all of this stuff. Now, to me, when I hear that from my, 50-some years on this earth, having been around people, sounds like he's overcompensating for, come on, people. Sounds like he's overcompensating for something. Maybe like Barack Obama says, he has an obsession with sizes. I'm just saying something's going on. And and why are you talking about women like that? Do you hate women? Are you trying to hide something that you are not maybe aware of in yourself or that you're trying to overcompensate for? It just seems a little bit odd. Come on, guys. And ladies and guys, if you know what I'm talking about. Like, what is going on here? There's some weird stuff going on here. Another part of it, I think we have 3. Is that right, Andy? We have 3 Piers clips, or is it 2?
We have 2 more.
You have 2 more. Okay. I think there's one where he's talking about, where all of it he's speaking really odd about women, but just play it and then I'll talk about it. Here it is.
A lot of female fans out there in the world, and they pretend I'm a misogynist, but it turns out that 85% of women on the planet seem to agree with me. Every single woman I've ever met in real life agrees with me. I have no female hate at all. I've never had negative interaction with women ever.
Yes, you have.
With who?
Well, what about the BBC journalist that came to your compound?
Lucy.
Yes.
I've never had a negative interaction with a female.
I don't think she was a fan.
Can you back up a little bit? Just back up to the smile, Andy, if you can. Right. That was it. Right when the close up. Wow. This guy thinks he is God's gift. I mean, he literally thinks that he is God's gift, or either he knows that he's not attractive, but he thinks that he is, and then he convinces young men. This is the problem. This is what, he's a little man. Lovely lady. He's a little man. He convinces young men, young impressionable men, that this is what manhood is, that this is what masculinity is. And that is the danger in that. And then Donald Trump and the MAGA folks and all of the people on the right, because they love it and they think that this is what manhood means. This is what masculinity means. And anyone who has this sort of influence over young men, they want to be close to it. And they want to be able to capitalize on it and perhaps use the similar kinds of tactics and behaviors in order to make themselves more famous and richer. See how that works? So, and also get his fan base to become their fan base, also get his fan base to become his voters. And it's a vicious circle. According to my producer, just so you know, my trusty producer, Nikki, 1 in 4 young men, I'll put that up in a second. Don't go there, because I want to finish this. 1 in 4 young men agree with Andrew Tate's views on women. And then get that up on the page, and then I'm going to read from it. But let's continue to listen to this.
Yes.
I've never had a negative interaction with a female
I don't
ever.
think she was a fan.
I think she was.
I would categorize that as a negative interaction.
Well, she seemed to follow me around for a long time. I think she was a little bit
There are
obsessed.
lots of women, Andrew. There are lots of women I know personally. There are lots of women who find you incredibly offensive.
I don't think so.
Right? It's their right to. It's your right to. Of course. It's your right to not care.
Yep.
But the idea that somehow you're this beloved person for the world's females, I think is not true. You are for a certain type of woman who likes to be treated in the way that you like to treat women.
Well, let's counter that argument, right? Because the world, as I said at the beginning, is nuanced. Am I beloved by all females? No. But when I'm sat here with someone as prestiged as you who says you're a misogynist and you hate women and women hate you.
I think you talk in a way that is misogynistic, yeah.
Okay, well then you make it sound like all women hate me, and that's also not the case. Of course, it's a nuanced argument.
I didn't say all women hate you.
Some women agree with me, some women don't agree with me. When I said that post about Amanda Holden, a lot of women said, Andrew, that's actually completely correct. She's extremely famous, and there's no need for her to be posting pictures like this at her ripe age. I was actually empowering her.
At her
I
ripe
believe
age.
that female empowerment is in modesty.
Okay. Now, I want the ladies out here in the chat to tell me, is this guy hot? Is it sexy? Do you find this? Maybe you do. Maybe you like it. I don't know. Ripe age, right? Someone over on the TikTok says ripe age. There's an older woman. Hey, look, older women are sexy. Redbird72 said he's discussing. Ladies and gentlemen, tell me how you feel about this. Because according to the polls, if we can put that up, oh my God, he's discussing in every way. This is in the Independent, okay? And it says 1 in 4 young men agree with Andrew Tate's views on women. Poll finds. Exclusive. Campaigners say the influencer is a legitimate force for misogynistic ideas. Can we scroll through? Okay. Around a quarter of young men agree with Andrew Tate's views on how women should be treated, poll has found. YouGov data, seen by The Independent, reveals that 26% of men in the UK aged between 18 and 29 who had heard of the misogynistic influencer agreed with his opinion of women. This is what I'm telling you about. Some 28% of men between 30 and 39 who had heard of Mr. Tate, a former kickboxing world champion turned success coach, back his outlook on women. 3 in 10 men aged between 30 and 39 who were aware of him agreed with his views on masculinity and what being a man involves, while a quarter of men in the age 18 to 29, in the 18 to 29 age bracket, backed Mr. Tate on this. So there you go. Now, these are campaigners, right? They told The Independent the influencer is a legitimate force for misogynistic ideas, and his luxurious lifestyle is a dangerous mask for violent and misogynistic content, which is drip-fed to his audience. So he's very famous. At one point, he was more famous and had more internet searches than Kim Kardashian and Donald Trump and anybody else in that range. He was the #1 person. The #1 person there. And the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. His wealth doesn't lie. The people who show up for his seminars or whatever it is, that doesn't lie. Those are facts. More about his opinion of women from the Piers Morgan interview. Here it is.
Do you want a woman who's stressed and angry after the commute, unshaven and exhausted? Or do you want a Barbie doll who's always smiling and saying thank you because she did her nails and brought you Prada that day? As a man, unless you're a loser, you're already filthy rich, right? You can get endless sex anyway. Girls are easy. So what can a girl give you? Happiness, vibes, always smiling. Take the edge off a stressful life. Can she always be happy if she's been working all day? No. Just to wake up at 11, gym till 1, one appointment and some shopping. Dressed beautiful by 7 p.m. for you to finish working and tell you how strong you are. No matter how pissed off you are, just to always be laughing and smiling and writing little notes about how you're perfect. And just to be playful and funny. She can't do that if she has a job. So your job is being my girlfriend and now you're a millionaire. Congratulations. Behave and aim for the promotion to wife. The reason I read all that in detail was I don't think you understand quite how that comes over, because I think that is the purest definition of misogyny I've probably ever read.
Well, I don't think you understand. One, especially when I'm talking about the fact that women can't handle what men can do, etc. One, it's slightly sarcastic. There's a sarcastic tone.
So do you mean any of this?
I mean all of it. Any woman I'm with, I will provide for because
so
I
no
want to
woman
protect
should
her.
work. They should spend all day beautifying themselves for you, right? And they might get promoted to wife.
This is
your
my
job is being my girlfriend.
Correct.
There are hundreds of millions of women around the world who do a good day's work who still manage to be a very good wife or partner. Right?
Agreed, completely. But it's my
So
life.
why would you encourage a whole generation of young men? I mean, I've got to be honest, since our last 2 interviews, before you were arrested, I would say every single day I have young men, teenage boys, maybe early 20s, coming up to me asking about you. It's gone on every day since I interviewed you. I'm very aware of your reach. I'm very aware of your influence. And whenever I've been asked about you, they say, what do you think of him? I said, I don't really know. I find myself agreeing with 60 to 70% of the things you say. And I do, because I think a lot of the stuff you say about empowering young men to be confident, to work out, to take care of themselves.
To have enough money to not force their woman to work.
Right, but that's the bit. That's the bit where when you stray into that kind of language, particularly in the detail where you reveal what you're really thinking, the kind of pathetic, soulless life you want for these women. Where does it allow for being a mother, for example?
Absolutely. That's
how does a mother of your children manage to find time for being a mother in this routine of love and devotion to you?
I love Jane Jones' comment. That was me, producers, putting that up there. Jane Jones. This is no, wait a minute. This is Jane Jones. You guys are something else, man. So what do you think? Look, maybe he says that some women would like just beautifying all day, going to the beauty parlor, getting massages, getting pedicures, getting manicures, and getting pretty for when the man, bring home the bacon, fry it up in a pan. But that's the never let you forget you're the man, 'cause I'm a woman. Anjali. That was actually the opposite of what he's saying. But how many of you do? Some of you might like that. Some of y'all might like that. By the way, if you love us, if you want us to be successful, to continue to be successful, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, the like, subscribe. It's the button is at the bottom of the screen, right below the Don Lemon Show logo on the right-hand bottom of your screen. And subscriptions are free. Our memberships are in the top of the chat. I hope they're in the top of the chat today. Check it out for me. Memberships are in the top of the chat. And then there's a poll that should say, have you hit the thumbs up? I don't see that one either.
We had that for the first 20 minutes, Don. I just replaced that.
And you were doing other
polls
questions.
for engagement.
Got it. So if you want to become a member, it's at the top of the screen. And then also pay attention to the other things if you hit the thumbs up or the polls that go up as well. He is vile. My God, says Camille Redina. That's everything from our Piers Morgan, right? Is that all of it?
Yep, that's it.
That's everything from the Piers Morgan interview. But 1 in 4 young men agree. In September of 2023, YouGov data found that 26% of men aged 18 to 29 and 28% of men aged 30 to 39 agreed with Tate's views on women. Now, do we have a poll from women to see how they feel about what he says? And so, just so you know, you heard everything that he said. You heard the Piers Morgan. Get me the Alina Habba thing again. You heard the Piers Morgan interview. You heard the thing where he says, bop, 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 on the head, put him in a stranglehold, whatever. I'm kind of paraphrasing here. That's like a pimp move. That's what you do. You heard that, right? You heard what he said in the Piers Morgan interview. Now, I want you to listen to, remember, this is Donald Trump's attorney who is comparing him to Donald Trump, who just was asked about it at the White House today. I don't know. Andrew Tate, I have no idea who he is. Now, this is the lawyer for Donald Trump. Again, watch.
Hey.
Hello, Alina.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I'm a big fan.
Well, nice
Big
to meet
fan.
you. I'm a fan. You're the one saving Trump. You're doing more important work than me.
America, not just Trump. And I agree with everything you just said. And I think that your anger is the same that President Trump has for our country. And the time is now for us to stop being wimps. I think that's exactly the right sentiment. And I also have to say that I sympathize with you because I think you go through a lot of the same show me the person, I'll find the crime that
Victim.
President Trump has gone through. And
Victim. Not only compare. No, okay, so this is the hypocrisy of MAGA, okay? That was what you could get out of that would be, if I had a son, he would look like Trayvon. Remember, conservatives lost their damn mind about why is Donald Trump saying Trayvon Martin? I mean, why is Barack Obama saying Trayvon Martin could be his son? How dare him? And now she is comparing this person who's accused of trafficking and being a predator, all those things. She is comparing him to Donald Trump, Donald Trump's own attorney. These people don't even see themselves. They don't actually see how ridiculous they are. And how is this woman sitting there agreeing with everything he said when you heard with your own ears how he feels about women, his thoughts on women? That kind of tells you, that kind of sums up MAGA. On the left, they call it, oh my gosh, it's Pizzagate, and they're grooming and they're doing all these. But if it happens on the right, then they are what? They're being persecuted. They are victims. They are speaking truth that no one else wants to hear. It's all a grift. Now, here's a weird thing. Now, there's always something that is just bizarre and weird. Of all people, when they landed in Florida today, this one person came out and said, get the fuck out of here. Shocking. Here he is.
They want to rebuff his entry into the United States, and I have confidence that whether it's Pam Bondi, whether they want to rebuff his entry into the United States, and I have confidence that whether it's Pam Bondi or Kristi Noem, that they will be looking at that. I do know our Attorney General, James Uthmeyer, is looking at what state hooks and jurisdiction we may have to be able to deal with this. But the reality is no, Florida is not a place where you're welcome with that type of conduct in the air. And I don't know how it came to this. We were not involved. We were not notified. I found out through the media that this was something that was happening.
So he doesn't like it. I have to say, there's one good thing that I can say about Ron DeSantis. I'll have to see if that sticks and what happens after this. But there's a kink in the armor here. So I don't know what's going on. Now, Can we talk to? Let's go now. This is everybody's going to be. We're going to put the Tate brothers to the side now. By the way, the Tate brothers. I mean, I keep telling y'all things. They are obsessed. You guys didn't manage to get any of the tweets or any of the posts, right? That they said about me, and I've had to respond. I had to tell them, but they would tweet about me so much. I finally had to tell them, hey guys, I'm not interested in you. Why are you obsessed with me? I have a husband. I mean, they would just all the time. I'm like, okay, guys. Or you're just obsessed. Why are you obsessed? I don't even know who you are. I don't really give a fuck who you are. Why are you obsessed with me? Even in interviews, somehow folks were telling me that they would mention me or whatever. Because, they're part of the whole Musk cavalcade, Trump cavalcade. Not even so much Rogan, maybe Rogan, but all of those sort of loony right-wing streamers. They're definitely overcompensating for something. Okay, let's go to Epstein, shall we? Remember, is Trump protecting predators here? Because there's this whole thing about the Epstein files. That folks, the MAGA folks were like, release the files, because they thought the files would just get Dems all in trouble and whatever. And then, but there was nothing. Guys, I sent you that thing today where it's Donald Trump with Diddy and with Epstein. Do you guys remember that? I sent it earlier today. If you can find it, let me know. I think it was a TikTok that I sent. And it's all of these photographs of who. Yes, you guys there? Somebody's going to say something?
Yeah, we'll find it.
Okay. All of these photographs of who. And it's all connected today because they love to call Democrats groomers. So here's what's happening with Epstein. There's this whole thing. Why aren't you release the Kennedy files? So why aren't you going to release the Epstein files? They had been pressuring and pushing the new Attorney General, Pam Bondi, to do that. Can you do the Epstein files? Can you get them out? Can you get them out? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And then Pam Bondi said this today about the Epstein files.
No, it was last night, Don.
Or last night about the Epstein files. Here it is.
Things a lot of people are wondering, because you said last week that you have the Epstein files on your desk, is when can we see them and what's taking so long to release them?
I do. Jesse, there are well over, this will make you sick, 200 victims. 200. So we have over 250 actually. So we have to make sure that their identity is protected and their personal information. But other than that, I think tomorrow, the personal information of victims. Other than that, I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office.
What kind? Are we going to see who was on the flights? Are we going to see any evidence from what he recorded? Because he had all of his homes wired with recording devices.
Yeah, what you're going to see, hopefully tomorrow, is a lot of flight logs, a lot of names, a lot of information, but it's pretty sick what that man did.
Okay, well, we'll
along
look for
with his
that.
co-defendant.
Absolutely, and he had help. That's for sure.
You're muted, Don.
Had help. Well, apparently, they're not happy with what happened. The right are not happy with what happened with the Epstein files. They're like, and they don't believe it. They think it's fake. They're like, this can't be real. This can't be all, because they get so wound up with conspiracy theories and they start believing each other. One person spreads something, then the other one believes it, and then another person spread, and it just keeps getting spread around in these fucking echo chambers with these crazy ass people, the QAnoners and all of that. And they're like, oh my gosh, definitely. I'm just saying here, definitely. Joe Biden is going to jail because he's a groomer. And then they start to believe it. And then Hillary Clinton is in a pizza shop in Florida and they're grooming and then they raid pizza. It's just crazy. They're crazy. The MAGA brain and the QAnon brain, pretty close to each other. So Attorney General Pam Bondi teased the release of the government documents related to wealthy financier Jeffrey Epstein during a Fox News appearance on Wednesday night, declaring, "Breaking news right now, you're going to get some Epstein information released." And the Justice Department later acknowledged the files expected to be released on Thursday have largely already been circulated in the public domain and are unlikely to include any new bombshells about the sex trafficking case that has been a favorite subject of conspiracy theorists. The right-wing folks were upset because it did not reveal what they thought it was going to reveal. And most of the things that were in there that was revealed had already been revealed before. Much ado about nothing. That's why I have never understood the obsession with the Epstein files. Just like I've never understood the obsession with the Twitter files. I'm like, what is this? This stuff is not telling us anything. This stuff is not saying anything. They're obsessed. And then Pam Bondi, there's this fight between Pam Bondi and Kash Patel. Pam Bondi sends fiery note to Kash Patel accusing the FBI of withholding docs. Attorney General Pam Bondi sent a fiery letter to the FBI Director Kash Patel on Thursday, accusing federal investigators in New York of withholding thousands of pages of Jeffrey Epstein documents that she has vowed to make public. Bondi said she had requested the full Epstein case file before Patel was confirmed as the head of the FBI and received about 200 pages of files, far less than the number of pages released last year in a civil lawsuit connected to Ghislaine Maxwell, the trafficker's former lover and convicted accomplice. I repeatedly questioned whether this was the full set of documents responsive to my request and was repeatedly assured by the FBI that we had received the full set of documents, Bondi wrote. Late yesterday, I learned from a source that the FBI field office in New York was in possession of thousands of pages of documents related to the investigation and the indictment of Epstein. She said the FBI had never disclosed the existence of those files and demanded they be turned over by Friday morning. By 8 a.m. tomorrow, February 28th, the FBI will deliver the full and complete Epstein files to my office, including all records, documents, audio, and video recordings, and materials related to Jeffrey Epstein and his clients, regardless of how such information was obtained. There will be no withholding or limitations to my or your access. The Department of Justice will ensure that any public disclosure of these files will be done in a manner to protect the privacy of victims and in accordance with law, as I have done my entire career as a prosecutor. Now, careful with that, because I don't know. Maybe they looked in there and they know either something's not happening, or maybe they've looked in there, or maybe they haven't looked in there, because I say careful. Did you guys find the thing that I was looking for?
Yep, the Trump and Diddy clip.
This is something from, now I just want you to pay close attention. Ignore the music. I don't even, I guess you can play it. I don't know. Can we play it, or will we get pinged for it? If so, do it on silent. I'm not sure. But watch this. Look at the pictures. Oh, is that Melania? Oh, yeah. Trump. Oh, wow. Look. Oh, Trump and Melania. Oh, look. Oh, Donald Trump and Diddy. Oh, look. Oh, wow. Donald Trump, Melania, and Ghislaine. Oh, look. Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, look. Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, look. Oh, Donald Trump and Ghislaine Maxwell. Oh, look. Diddy. Oh, look. Diddy and Trump. Can we just roll it again? Just roll it again. Oh, there's Diddy. There's Melania and Diddy. There's Diddy. And Melania again, and Trump. Oh, and there's Diddy. And there's Trump and Diddy. And then there's Ghislaine, Trump, Diddy, and Epstein. And there's Trump and Epstein. And then there's Trump and Epstein. And then there's Ghislaine Maxwell. And then there's Trump, Diddy, and Melania. And then Trump and Diddy. but the Democrats are the groomers. Everyone thinks like, oh my gosh, all these Democrats are going to be caught up when right in their face, their dude is hanging out, partying. Remember the dance that there was a video of them? Come on. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's interesting that back in October, Donald Trump said this about the Epstein files.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah.
Would you,
I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would, or at least
Do you think that would restore trust? Help restore trust?
Yeah, I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the others.
What an odd thing to say.
I didn't know you were going to be talking about this.
Huh. Well, he said, I don't know about Epstein, about the others, meaning I don't know if that will restore trust. Because he's saying, I will release it, but then he said, I don't know if that will restore trust. I think that's what he was saying there. MAGA influencers holding fake Epstein files here. So they're saying this is the Epstein files, right? And the Epstein files have not been released. And they think that this is going to be some big bombshell. Man, these people don't they have anything better to do? And here's my other thing. Why are these freaks at the White House? Why are these people even in the White House? Crazy. Laura Loomer says that they are running cover. Here's what Representative Anna Paulina Luna says. I nor the task force were given or reviewed the Epstein documents being released today. A New York Post story just revealed that the documents will simply be Epstein's phone book. This is not what we or the American people asked for. And then there's something else below that. And then Laura Loomer says, every single social media influencer at the White House today lied to everyone to run cover for pedophiles. There are no files. None of them even posted screenshots of the binders. Open the binders and post every single screenshot, or you are a liar. There's trouble in Magadom. They're all upset about the Epstein files. And then there's Pam Bondi, who's blaming the lack of Epstein files on Kash Patel. Okay, who is Mika Brzezinski on old footage of Trump and Epstein? Oh, that's her reporting on it.
Correct.
Yeah, let's go.
You get great ratings in your show.
Trump is surrounded by women as music blares in the background. After a while, Trump goes to greet 3 new guests, among them the financier Jeffrey Epstein.
Come on in. Go inside.
More than a decade before his guilty plea on state prostitution charges. Later in the footage, Trump is seen talking to Epstein and another man as women are dancing in front of them. Trump alternates between dancing and pointing out women to Epstein and the other man and telling Epstein about the cameras. Though exactly what they say is difficult to understand as they discuss the women and their appearances, Trump gestures to one and appears to say to Epstein, "Look at her back there. She's hot." And then Trump says something else into Epstein's ear that makes him double over with laughter. But as the president says now, he never liked Epstein.
I was not a...
You're muted, Don.
I'm always, darn it. I'm trying to because anyways, I always mute because I either blow my nose. I don't want you to hear me laughing. He's laughing with the guy, invited him. He's in a party. He's coming into the party. Trump is like pointing out, whispering in his ear, but Epstein? What? I never liked him. I don't know. What? I don't know. That is always his MO. Don't you people know that? Don't you MAGA people? Can't you see that? Anytime that he is guilty of something, meaning that he has an association with somebody or something, and he thinks it's bad for him, I don't know. I have no idea. What are you talking about? Who? Epstein? Bernstein? Who are you talking about? Don't know him. Every single time That's something up with that. But there's your buddy. And you sure you want those Epstein files released? Okay. I'm just saying. You sure you want them released? In the meantime, everyone, I just want to tell you that there is some breaking news that I need to tell you about, because you heard Andrew Tate mention, even in his interview, and that was, I think, 2023 interview, that he mentioned Diddy, and he also mentioned, what's his name? Russell Brand, right, who had been accused of these things. So here's the breaking news about Sean Diddy Combs. Sean Diddy Combs is being sued yet again, because we're speaking about these people who are accused, predators, being sued, pardon me, yet again, this time by a man who claims that he was hired to engage in a freak-off of sorts with the disgraced music mogul and a female companion. The sex worker, identified as John Doe, also says Diddy threatened to harm him and made a reference to a Pac, the rap legend Tupac Shakur, or a Pac, excuse me, the rap legend Tupac Shakur, who was fatally shot in Las Vegas in 1996. John Doe says his nightmare began in 2012 when he met Diddy through a mail companion service he worked for in Florida. He says he told Diddy that he would travel to New York City to hold up with Diddy at the Intercontinental Hotel. When he entered the room, the man says that he was met by Diddy and Diddy's female companion. The escort says that Diddy commanded him to give, you know what, sex, sounds like rural sex, to the woman for hours while performing degrading, you know what, acts on her, similar to freak-offs as defined by federal prosecutors in a criminal case against the Bad Boy Records CEO. In addition, the escort says Diddy drugged him with a bottle of water and or baby oil rubbed on his body, causing him to lose control of himself. Can you drug somebody with baby oil? Okay. If you rub it out and rub it on your body. He says Diddy followed him into the bathroom. And how do I say that? Painfully sodomized him. I don't know. He says Diddy then said, if I can get Pac hit, what the F do you think can happen to you? The man claims that he said that he would keep his trap shut about the alleged essay. It should be noted in the criminal indictment, there is no allegation Diddy ever assaulted or sodomized a male escort or drugged one with a water bottle or baby oil. Diddy's legal team poo-pooed. It's kind of no. Why would TMZ write that? The lawsuit, telling TMZ no matter how many lawsuits are filed, especially by individuals who refuse to put their own names behind their claims, it won't change the fact that Mr. Combs has never essayed or trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor. Diddy's lawyers continued, we live in a world where anyone can file a lawsuit for any reason. Fortunately, a fair and impartial judicial process exists to find the truth, and Mr. Combs is confident he will prevail in court. Now, listen, yes, innocent until proven guilty. And guess what? You're right. Anyone can file a charge against you. The difference is when it's adjudicated and whether it goes to court or not. So I don't disagree with him in that. And we always have to remember in these stories, not that I'm making excuses for Diddy. I'm just saying, also, I'm trying not to get myself sued by Diddy, or people are very litigious now. Innocent until proven guilty. That's all I'll say. You guys feel me? You understand what I'm saying, right? That's a disclaimer. And that is from TMZ, who is reporting this. So I told you that I had some interesting things to tell you today, and that it was an unusual thing, but I know you people in the comments poo-pooed. Yeah. And Donald Trump is saying, okay, let these folks back in, according to Sky News, pressuring the Romanian government, according to the reporting. He's saying pressuring them to be not so restrictive. And part of that not so restrictive thing, fewer restrictions, is coming to the United States. So when Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. Now, what happens when Romania sends its people? Are they sending their best? Are they bringing drugs? Are they bringing crimes? Are they? Do you know what ists? And is Donald Trump protecting alleged predators or predators in general? You tell me. Now, look, I want you guys, oh my God, are you guys kidding me with the thumbs up? There's so many people in this stream, and there's like half the likes and thumbs up that there should be. We have such incredible engagement. Are you guys kidding me? You guys must, you hate me, right? Is that what it is? You guys don't like me? Kev, the creator, says no, but they look white. Do they? Kind of. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, okay? And listen, subscribe. Let me shout out some of the folks. Remember, we have a members only stream tonight. So this will be spiked soon for the members only private stream that we have in just moments. Thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up. I appreciate it. I can see it. It's helping the algorithm. I see the numbers going up, the people who are watching. So thank you. And make sure you subscribe. Let me shout out some people. I read a book by the attorney who represented many of Epstein's WPB victims, West Palm Beach victims. Trump was at the house, and on the PJ, called PJ records got submitted. Plain records got submitted. Okay, well, that's according to Ebony Noel. I don't know if that's true, but anyway, thank you, Ebony. Thank you for your generous support of independent media. Welcome to Donetta Moorman, who became a member today. And thank you so much for This Is Really Happening, gifted 20 memberships because of This Is Really Happening's generous support, generosity. 20 people get to become members of the Lemon Nation, of the Don Lemon Show and the Don Lemon channel. So thank you so much for that. Lola Camacho, welcome. Welcome to Jamila Burns. Welcome to The Locked Vegan. Welcome to Nancy Charles. All the new victims, all the new members. Kim Taylor became a YouTube member. And Mouse became one. Brea Brown, Angela Jones. So many people. Oh, wow. Jazzy, Perceive, Crystal Rocks. Oh, I said Kim Taylor, right? Gus Rose, Janine, Shania, the Queen Hunter, Bridge Buckley, Fancy. Oh, you fancy, huh? Jacqueline, Selena. Thank you all. Okay, just so you know, and everybody don't rush over because it's not Cindy Everson. Thank you. So not everybody, if you're at the lowest tier of the membership, you don't get to become part of the private stream. Is that right, Nikki? Could you explain to people, because there's lots of confusion around that?
Yes, Nikki. I think Nikki's just involved in doing technical stuff right now. But
sorry, I was just editing something. If we're asking who can switch over and how, so yes, the members only stream will be starting after this. You will be rerouted. Now, if you are either not a member or in tier 1, our Lemon Nation, you're not going to be able to join the members stream, but you'll see a page and you could always upgrade. Our members only stream is for Lemon Heads and Lemon Legends. I would encourage anyone who wants to join to upgrade their membership. But of course, we still welcome people at every membership level.
Yes, and you will be rerouted. Okay, so I want to thank everybody for watching. We'll see you, for those of you who won't be in the private stream, I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. where we will have another rambunctious and very interesting Don Lemon Show. It's our Hot Topic show. Okay, so I thank you guys for watching. I'm so happy that you're here. And as I say, after all of these things, after every single program, come here. You can be informed without being inundated. We won't insult your intelligence. So until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, unless you're going to the private stream, turn the TV off. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love.